Hey guys, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to install these leatherette seat covers. I got them from Amazon. They were $200 on sale during Amazon Prime. They're usually $250. I already installed this one, and I actually started doing a video because I thought I was really good at it, but I learned a lot of tricks along the way. So I thought I'm just going to reshoot it using the passenger seat, so you can kind of know or learn the tips that really helped me along. Well, let me tell you first of all why I'm actually putting these seat covers in, other than, you know, it makes it look a little more upscale. There's only 2,000 miles on this truck, and it's just like, I don't know what the deal is with these seats, but they're probably easy to clean, but they also get dirty really easy. So these are the seat covers for the passenger front seat. Here you have the bottom, and here you have the top. You can see a couple things when you get it from the manufacturer. It's really confusing because they start with this strap together. You basically have to unstrap this and pull it around. And then you also have these two elastic pieces. And what you have to do is put these hooks on the end of it. And it's kind of weird because there's a lot of ways it could work, but I figured out that you have to pry it open a bit and slide it through so it hooks on sort of like that. And then behind the seat, these two are going to stretch, and they're going to hook together. So that's just some general information. The other thing is, make sure you got the right side, the correct side of the seat cover. This always goes on the outside. So you notice there's nothing here on this one. You have this little plastic tab that gets tucked into the plastic trim around the seat, and that needs to go on the outside or towards the door side. So those are some configuration tips. So when you get it, it's really confusing, and the instructions honestly are pretty poor. The other thing I'm just going to go through real quick is make sure you get the right back of the seat. And when I say that, there's an airbag side. Make sure that goes to the door. Don't mix that up, because if your airbag ever goes off, you're going to have a really big problem. And I believe these are somewhat interchangeable, so you have to be conscientious about putting that there. So yeah, what you want to do first is to prep it. So you're just going to pretty much, I only got one hand here, but you pretty much slide it through and lock it in like that. Do it on the other side. So I laid the seat cover down just like this. Next thing you got to do is undo these. So once you have them undone, just pull them up like this, kind of stretch them over. And you want to kind of keep them close to each other. And then these are going to go under the seat, and then they're going to strap back around in the front of the seat. And then these you're going to pull through. So these you're going to pull through the back, and it's super hard. So first thing you want to do, and the instructions do say this, is recline your seat almost all the way. Now I have a little bit more room to squeeze those through. So basically I'm just going to flip this around, and then I have my two straps there. And then what I'm going to do is I kind of keep them bunched up, so when I pull it through, it's easier to get both of them. Kind of wad it up and shove your hand down through there, and come back and push a little bit more in, so there's a lot of slack, so you can try to feel for it. And then you're going to have to come around again. Yeah, I'm trying to do this with the phone in my hand, but in this case I got one so far. I mean, the other one is, there we go. So I got these two through, and I'm gonna put them all the way to the front, just like that. So that's how you do those. And then they're just gonna basically toggle into these, and you can tighten it down. Now, the hard part is these guys. And I found if you put one hand on this side underneath the seat, and another one where you're pushing it through, and you try to feel for the hook with your hand, it's a lot easier. And I'm not really going to be able to film that, but basically a hand on each side, this side and that side. Try to stretch around, pull the hook through. It's super hard, but you want to go through this, I believe it's through the back right here. It's so hard to see, but you can see kind of an opening right there, that light. You want to try to push it through there. So I was able to pull it through, and when I pull it through, it kind of discombobulates this a little bit. So you, just to keep everything in order, you just kind of tuck this into the side there. Tuck this in. You gotta pry this little plastic out and then try to push this. You gotta try to pry this plastic trim out, and then you push this in, and you want to kind of hide that seam so it looks really clean. So you can see kind of where the hooks come through on each end. Basically, after you tighten the fronts, you're going to take these two and just stretch them together and hook them together. Okay, so I hooked those together. Now I'm going to do that adjustment with the front seat. You can see it's not sitting right. You got to pry this in to here, and you kind of tuck everything in. Just take your time. This has a little bit of flex, so you can push one end in, and it kind of helps the other end get in. Then when you're done with that, you just thread this through. So I put that one tab in there, and I'm gonna, straighten it out a little bit, but I'm just showing you. Sometimes you gotta like pull this out a little bit. You get a little bit of a gap, and then you can tuck it in. I can't do it right now because I'm using one hand, but so you can help yourself by pulling this out a little bit. Don't break it, and then tuck this in. And then once you get a lot of it in, it's easier to get the rest of it in. And, okay, I got it fitted pretty good, so I'm gonna do these straps. So one thing you wanna look at is, I put this strap, it's gonna be hard to see, I put the strap above my seat adjustment. I don't have power seats. So keep that in mind. They don't really tell you that, but if you put it below it, which usually it will go below because when you pull it through, it's at the bottom. So make sure you lift it up a bit. I know it's hard to see, and get above that. And then basically, you're just gonna tighten it down. I need two hands to do it, but you get the idea. Okay, so that's the front seat install. Not too bad. I'm definitely gonna make some adjustments, but a little bit of flexing there. But I mean, it's a seat, and it is gonna stretch, and it's a little cooler out. So I'm just gotta be patient with it, and don't fret over slight imperfections. I mean, you can kind of see it's a little bit probably from it being packaged. I'm not really gonna worry about that yet. Okay, so we're moving on to the top of the front seat. Basically, you gotta remove the headrest, and there's a cover for that right here. I'm not even gonna show that. It basically slips on right over this, and then there's a Velcro here. You wanna tuck it in nice and tight. Tuck that Velcro in nice and tight so you get a really tight seal, and make sure you line up your lines of your seat with these lines so it's even, because it's very easy not to have it even, and it'll look kind of ridiculous. So again, the back of the seat, make sure you have the side airbag matching the side airbag of your manufacturer seat, and then you're going to unzip it, and you're basically going to put it right over. And after you do that, there's these, so you're going to see there's 3 tabs in the back of the seat. Actually, it's the front of the seat cover. So this is going to flip around, and then you're going to attach these on there, and you're going to basically just get them through the back of the seat. So then it's going to kind of turn like this and anchor itself in. Okay, so I put the seat cover on. Now I'm going to put these rings on, and they basically real easy. They just go on through, slip it in through there, and then you want to keep the seat reclined again. That's kind of a key thing with this whole procedure. So it opens up the gap, and you want to push this through, so on the other side it kind of locks in like that. So it's pushing or pulling this in and keeping it nice and tight. Okay, so you can see I got the tabs on. These are just plastic, they're not metal. And you're basically, again, I'm using usually 1 or 2 hands, one to push this down and the other one to slide it through. So I find that helps, but it's very, very tight. So it takes a little bit of working. Just be patient and make sure you get it all the way through. Don't just take it and stick it in and think you're done. You really gotta get it all the way through to the other side. Okay, I got those 3 rings through, and word of advice, definitely push with one side of your hand over here and the other one over here, and try to pull it through. It's super hard to do. Next thing you want to do is also a pain in this pain, but they cut these holes out for the headrest, and you're supposed to put them through like I did over here, so it looks, you know, obviously nice. But these holes are so small, so you gotta like just kind of take your time. I can't do it with one hand, but get it around one end like this, and just kind of keep working it around until you get it there. It's gonna feel like it's almost gonna tear, and sometimes you just gotta let it sit there and stretch itself out. Then once you do that, you obviously just stick these on, and you kind of make some final adjustments. So it's looking pretty good already. Honestly, if I had to install this again, I could probably do it in 5 or 10 minutes tops. It's not that hard. Okay, so I'm gonna do the rear seats. These are a lot easier. Again, you have these straps that you have to undo, and then you're gonna basically, so you're gonna wanna first just, you know, pull your lever to unlock it, but you're not gonna be putting it up yet. First, you're going to undo the straps that I showed you, and you're just going to put it around, and then after that, we're going to tip the seat up and then stretch the cords through and tie them into place, and then that's pretty much it for the rear seat. So okay, this is the final product. Keep in mind, some of it's gonna kind of stretch out from the packaging and stuff, so don't mind that. I also am not gonna do a final fit until it's maybe a month or so, just so it can kind of stretch and find its place. Back seat was super easy to install, but I'm confident that they're even gonna look better over once they get kind of fitted in. So hopefully this video helped you, because the instructions again are not that good, and I actually struggled quite a bit with my very first seat, and the two front seats are definitely the hardest to do.